Howdy, and welcome to another episode of Ask Alan Anything. We're talking about reviews today and why they are critical to the success of someone's book, both in pre-sales as well as in the final sales or the continuation of sales after the initial release. So let's begin with the basics. What is a review? There are two types of reviews. The average reader's review that we see on Amazon and other types of sites, they say, yeah, this is a great book, et cetera, et cetera. Then there is the press review, which in today's world is really not just from the printed press. It's a variety of sources, such as bloggers, the professional reviewers, Kirkus, and others similar to that. And of course, there are the media reviews that you can find on TV, radio, and printed press. So those are the two basic types, the basic reader's review and then the press reviews. And they're very critical to the success of a book, and we'll talk about it. So the value of the reader's reviews only matters on sites like Amazon and those type of bookstores. The more reader reviews and stars scores, the better the chances of additional sales, in theory. This is important, but not the main critical aspect for what you want to achieve in getting reviews, okay? People live busy lives, and therefore they just don't have the time to sit down and give a review for every book they read. And considering they're not reading that many books to begin with, you would think it would be easier, but it's not. Everybody lives a busy life, and so it's challenging to remind them and encourage them in a loving, caring, positive way to leave that review so that they know they're valued, okay? They have to have that emotional trigger to leave the review, or the financial trigger. What are they getting in return for leaving that review? Many times people will just do it for the kindness of their heart if they're emotionally moved to do so. That's the big thing. It's getting them emotionally moved to do that, okay? Again, these types of reviews are more for after the book is out, and you want to keep a certain amount of momentum going, keep the sales going, that type of stuff. But really doesn't work for the pre-sales, which we'll get into. It is the professional reviewers that you need the most. These are the ones that have that we have mentioned in it is the professional reviews that you need the most. These are the ones we have mentioned and that are done by bloggers, the press, that type of stuff. The reality of all these types of reviews are paid in some format, okay? You have to give something to them in exchange for getting those reviews. Most of them, at least 75 to 90%, are paid reviews, okay? Which is tough, and we'll talk about that in a moment. It's also these reviews that you have the advanced reader's copy, which is known as an ARC. That's why you have those done early on so that you can have those reviews go out and make any last minute changes in the book based on those reviews that you get. Same thing as if you were doing a beta reading, okay? You've got those beta readers to respond and give you feedback about the book and stuff. You made changes, and now you're at the ARC position where you're going out to get those reviews. And if you need to make more changes, you can do that before the final press release, final edition is out there and stuff. So those are the key aspects, setting that up and stuff. Hopefully everybody is doing beta reviews, and then they're doing the ARC reviews, and then they're finally doing the press. Unfortunately, most indie authors have no clue about that, and they just go straight to press. Doesn't work, okay? So let's use Kirkus as a prime example, okay? They have been around pretty much the longest, along with Library Journal and a few others, and giving reviews. They used to be for free. They were, of course, for the big publishing houses, and it was no big deal, to get books once, maybe 6 books a month, and to be able to read them and do the reviews and give them to the press, people in their publishing houses, etc. Well, with the advent of the way publishing is done now, with self-publishing, indie authors, etc., they realize, well, we've got a lot of requests to do it. We're not going to do it for free anymore. We're going to charge you. But they do have that free version. It may take you 18 months to 2 years to get a review because it's low on the totem pole. They are focused in on what's being paid and getting those reviews out. So depending on how fast you need the review, it can range from like 250 to 750 bucks. It really varies depending on how fast you want them. Standard, I believe, is about $500 for 2-word turnaround, which is good, especially for you authors that are rushing things through and stuff. You don't want to necessarily do that, okay? So you have them. They are, like I said, one of the longest ones out there. You also have the library journal, which takes longer, and different other sources and stuff, okay? Excuse me. Now, of course, you also have, as we mentioned, the bloggers, okay? They too will charge based on what they're going, what's going on and stuff. Some of them are set up with companies that will do a blog tour, which means you get multiple bloggers for a period of time to help promote the book and stuff like that. Okay. So, what does a good quality work mean for the review? Okay. They are tough. Kirkus, for example, is very tough. Okay. They can give good reviews. And they do give out a lot of good reviews. Okay. And they also give out some hard reviews. The ideal situation for Kirkus is to get what they call a 1-star review. Okay? Those are really rare to get. They just don't give them out a whole lot compared to how many reviews they do. Okay, so I may say they may give out 50 to 100 1-star reviews over a period of 1 year, which sounds like a lot, but remember, you've got 1 million books coming at them. That's not very much. So to get that 1-star review means a lot. You're actually getting really high quality review. They love your book, and if you market it right, that can turn into thousands of sales. And they will use that 1-star review too to push out to their media sources and stuff to give you even additional exposure and stuff like that. So that means they really think it's a good book that needs to get exposure. So those are the type of reviews you want to get. But a good review is still valuable, okay? But you have to be careful with Kirkus and others. Some of them have very restrictive rules on how you use the reviews. For example, Kirkus, when you're going through the process, says you cannot edit the review and just pick and choose what you want out of it. In other words, if they happen to use the word good or happen to use the word great, you can't just pull that out and say, this is what Kirkus said. With Kirkus, it's the full review you're supposed to use, okay? Most reviews are about 1 to 4 paragraphs long. Stuff. Okay, so be careful of that. Now, the bloggers are a bit different. They do want to be compensated, as I mentioned, in some form for doing some kind of a review. They want to be able to talk about the book, so it could be, a financial compensation. It could be a simple promotion through your readerships about their blog. It could be a giveaway of your book, to their readers and stuff like that. So there's always something there to play with and stuff and to keep in mind, okay? What you want to do is look at the value of the bloggers, okay? How many followers do they have? How often do they do a blog? What type of blog is it? Does the genre that they talk about fit your genre, okay? You don't want to go to a mystery if you're a romance, okay? So you've got to look at those type of things, okay? How long will the blog be run? How long will it stay up on their system, okay? What type of promotion will they do to promote that you're on the blog? Whether it be a live blog or an article or a call-in or whatever it is. What is the value they're giving you for what you're having to pay for, in essence, okay? So look at every one of those bloggers and consider that, okay? You have to consider the value of what you're spending with the bloggers, which we talked about. So definitely, again, really be careful about that. You want to make sure you're getting your value, okay? So it comes down again to the value of your sales, okay? Are you spending enough on the proper type of money and funds? The value is coming back in the response. We've talked about that with contests. We've talked about that again here with reviews and other programs, okay? Are you getting the value for what you're spending? Okay? So from the readers that post on Amazon, these reviews can be a mix of anything, okay? It's like, I love the book, or the characters wrapped me in a cocoon of, I was riveted to my seat. Those are the things that are emotionally response that really helps other readers feel the desire to want to read your book, okay? Now, with the Kirkus type reviews, they are more technical in some respects, okay? They will use, I was riveted, or it felt exciting, or I could feel the presence. They will use those emotional words, but they will also then talk more on the technical aspect. The characters seem to be bland, or the settings were not efficient enough, or do not give the realization of what the person's trying to say. I mean, those type of things, okay? So you do have to look at the overall review and, you know, see how valuable it can be to promoting your book, okay? Again, like I said, a lot of Kirkus and others want you to use a full review because they know people will nitpick and choose things and take it out of context. So you have to be careful with that if you choose to go that route. And I know a lot of authors do, and a lot of publishing houses do that. But again, be careful. Okay? No author ever wants to have a bad press, a bad review, but it happens. And this is where you're going to have to become a little bit less of an ego. Okay? We get caught up in the story. We get caught up in writing the story and feeling the story and wanting people to love the story and all of this stuff. And so our ego gets in the way. I mean, it is our child. We have created something, okay? But you don't want that ego to totally ruin it for you, okay? In other words, when you're getting a bad press, you want to be able to make sure that you are able to give the feel. You know, listen to what is being said. Take it with a grain of salt to some extent, but listen to what's being said. Okay, especially, you know, like the betas. You know, you gain all these feedbacks back, and some of it you're not going to like. The same is going to be with the reviews. Some of it you're not going to like, but you got to listen to it. Okay, now if by chance most of your reviews are bad, then you really need to listen to what's being said and read. What are you missing? Okay, listen to what they're saying in that respect. Take the ego out of it, look at logically, and say, okay, I've gained all these bad reviews, 2-3 star type of reviews, even 3 or 4 stars aren't best, but they're good. But you're getting all these bad reviews. What is it they're saying that may be important for me to change in the book? Okay, you want people to enjoy the book. You want people to get excited about the book. So you have to look at it and make those necessary changes. Take the book off the system, revamp it, you know, based on what's going on. Make sure you've gone through the re-edits and proofing before you send it back out. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay, I've done it. Many authors have done it. Many big authors have done it. When they start getting those ARCs back and the reviews back or the betas back, you have to be open to listening to what people are saying. Okay, if you're trying to convey something and they're hearing something else, then clearly you're not hitting the right spot. So you need to go back and figure out, okay, how do I reword this? How do I reset this? How do I make it to where they're now responding the way I wanted them to? Which, of course, everybody wants them to enjoy the book and feel it and all that stuff. So listen to those reviews. Just like your betas, listen to what they're saying. It's a point. It's valuable. Okay? All right. So while reviewers are so-called professionals, they don't always get it right. Okay, again, you know, be open about what they're saying. If, you know, you can see that the reviewer almost gets what you're saying, but they've gone off on a totally different tangent that's not in your book. Okay, so what's the deal? Why did that happen? Okay, it could be simply because the reviewer was in a bad mood at that moment, and that happens. I mean, everybody in professional life has that bad moment. They do something, say something that reflects that bad moment when it really isn't necessarily directed at that person or that place. You know, it's just part of life. But again, don't let your ego get involved in it. Okay. Like I'm saying here, grow that thick skin. Okay. Don't let your ego respond to the review. Listen open. You know, be clear about it, and just accept it. Okay. Remember that on Amazon and other sites, paid reviews are not allowed. So if you get a Kirkus review, you can put it in a different system that's not listed in their star section or the readers section. Okay, but also those other reviews from Kirkus and the others, the Library Journal, et cetera, those can be used on the back part of your book. That's part of your sales pitch. So make sure you use that. Okay. So that's, again, why an ARC is so important. Just like the betas were, the ARC is important, because if you're getting good reviews, you want those on the back of the book so that you can be out there promoting and people can see review after review after review, especially from the top ones. Great story, love the story, got to buy this book. It's top 10, all this type of stuff is valuable on the back of the book. So that's why the ARC's on point. You get that out there first with your sales pitch and your picture bio on the back, and that's part of the ARC. But then when you get those reviews, you go back, you add those reviews in there, you fine tune that back cover so that when it hits the public, they can see that people like the book and therefore give them more reason to buy your book. Okay, so that's all part of that marketing aspect, getting the books and through the process and stuff. Okay, this is not going to be your cheapest part, especially the paid ones like Kirkus. Like I said, it was about $500. Okay, so you've got to really consider: is this of value? Is this something I can afford? If I don't do it, will I lose out on potential sales? Which is a big question because you really don't know what's going to happen. Okay, but budget. Okay, plan out your budgets. As you're writing the book, start putting money aside so that you can do these things. You can do those ARCs. You can reset the fees, redetermine the values of things. Look at the reviewers, the blog tours. All of this stuff is so important and part of your marketing plan that you've got to make sure you have the budget. As I've mentioned in my author's marketing book, we have that listed out there. So you can plan, you can look, okay, how's this going to work? How am I going to be able to sell these many books to recoup my money? Okay, that's all part of the business plan, part of the business of publishing. You've got to understand all that. So definitely look at those budgets, look at how you plan those things out, save money. Don't rush to get to publish. Okay, it doesn't usually work. Most all the times it doesn't work. Plan it out, build your success. All right. So that's it in a nutshell about reviews. If you are asked to give a review, make sure you have those emotional words in it. Keep it short and sweet. You don't want to drag on a 2-page review when you could say it all in 2 paragraphs. Okay. Ideally, you want to give them that one-line sentence that's really going to promote the book if you like it or if you hate it. But give them that one-line sentence that they can use on the back of the cover. Okay. Share with other authors that are in your genre. If you are a romance writer and you're doing a review for a romance book, put it out there. Okay. Those people in the romance genre will want to read that book, will get to recognize that you are part of that community, and that helps build your success. Okay. Thank you for watching. As always, you can send your emails to us. You've seen the email pop up on the screen throughout the show. Don't forget, National Authors Day is on the first Saturday of November every year. So we are increasing activities and programs for that. We have our authors contest, Read Fiction is the name of it. So check that out. You can go to dearindie.org to catch any of these programs and things of that nature. We are here to help you. Feel free to reach out to us at authorsmarketingguild.com. You have yourself a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching or listening to this show. Indie Lector is proud to sponsor this programming. As a thank you for listening or watching, we would like to give you a 10% coupon code that you can use on our bookstore at indielector.store. Use coupon code video19. Again, that's indielector.store, coupon code video19 for a 10% discount on any purchase. Thank you. Authors, do you know the true cost of being published? In the Author's Revolution Workbook, B. Allen Bourgeois gives you hands-on tools to use and to understand the true cost of being published. He will also give you information about low-cost or free programs that are designed to help you market your book. B. Allen Bourgeois has been helping hundreds of authors since 2011, educating them on how to better market and sell their books. Buy the Author's Revolution Workbook exclusively at indielector.store. Hi, this is your host, B. Allen Bourgeois. Thanks for watching Ask Allen Anything. We do appreciate you tuning in from time to time, and we are asking that if you're interested in the show and what the value it has for authors, that you help support us. We have created a Patreon page. You can go to Patreon, Patreon.com, and go to Bourgeois Media and become a sponsor. We have a lot of different options for you, free books, free credits, free whatever we can find that doesn't cost us too much, that allows us to be able to still raise money for Title I schools, getting the books into their hands, and also keeping the show up and running. So please check us out. That is Patreon, patreon.com, and then look for Bourgeois Media. And I appreciate your support. Thanks.